What a bad name. He's like the love interest. If they don't, might cry. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This week we're going to be reading only Kindle Unlimited books. So first off, we're going to start with a book that is on my October TBR. I have 6 books on my October TBR and I've read 4 out of my wait, no, I've only read 3. 3 out of 6 of my TBR, and we're gonna start on another one. This one, 600 pages. Hey, isn't that insane? Quicksilver by Callie Hart. This is a romantasy read. I don't have the greatest track record with romantasy. I've liked some of them. Some of them are a little too cringe in the writing and the dialogue and like the pace. I feel like sometimes the romance is like focused on, and I just want the world building, but that is not how life is. So the last few romantasies that I read were Phantasma and then When the Moon Hatched. When the Moon Hatched and Quicksilver, they went viral on TikTok, like I would say at the same time. And so I read When the Moon Hatched, 700 pages, so long, hated it. I gave it like 1.5 stars. This is Enemies to Lovers, so we're gonna get on this 600 page book. I think the last time I read a book that long was a Brandon Sanderson book, and that took me a week. But I feel like this writing's not the same caliber as Brandon Sanderson. Yeah, we're gonna read Quicksilver by Callie Hart, and then I'll come back to you when I have an update. I came back from Miami a couple days ago, so I haven't been reading that much, but I've been reading, if I'm on the plane, I've been reading the Quicksilver book. So this is also part of my October TBR. Am I gonna finish it? I think I will. I'm 50% through it right now. Okay, and it's fine. It's not my favorite writing, but it's not the worst. I think it's miles better than When the Moon Hatched right now. 50% through. I don't really know what Quicksilver is. I just know it's kind of like, it's metal. I know it's silver, but then I don't know like what it does to the Fae in the universe. Maybe I glossed over it, maybe I just skimmed it too fast, but might have to look that up because we're just talking about Quicksilver. But right now, our main character, Saris, I think, she is like kind of like her people are like, they're really lower class, and so they don't really get a lot of like the resources that the upper class and like the kingdom does. And so that happens, she gets in trouble with the queen, and then she gets brought up to the palace to talk to the queen. Something happens, the Fae have her now, and so our main guy, Kingfisher, what a bad name, he's like the love interest, and so he's like leading the charge. The Fae are at war with somebody. I don't know if they're at war with the humans. I don't think they are. So the Fae kingdom is like at war with somebody that I don't know about. And so that's happening. Apparently Saris is a alchemist, and so I'm confused. The alchemist, I thought alchemy was part of the Fae thing, but they always keep on reiterating that she's a human, so maybe alchemy is just like a long lost like human magic source, I guess. But she's human. Kingfisher's Fae. That's all you have to really know. She is bound by oath to him to do stuff, and so that's the basic. I'm 50% through. I feel like it moves quickly, but it also doesn't. I feel like we've done a lot, but also nothing in 50%. She has a cute little like fox friend that is so cute. I love that bit. I really want to finish it this week. I know this is supposed to be like reading Kindle Unlimited books for a week. Let's be honest, it's not gonna finish in a week because I would only read 1 book. But yeah, I think the next 2 books I'm going to read are Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney, and also Wolfsong by Klune. I've read 2 Klune books. I've loved both of them. I loved Under the Whispering Door so much. I love that book so much. So yeah, I'm excited to get to Wolfsong. I think Wolfsong is about like 2 brothers that are wolves, and so this is like a 3-part like series. I don't know if they're interconnected or they're like you have like they follow along the same characters. I don't know. Haven't done my research, but when have I ever? I really want to get finished with Quicksilver pretty soon. There's 600 something pages. I'm at 330. That's all I got for you. Cute my shirt is. Okay. Oh, I finished Quicksilver. Why do I look bold? I finished Quicksilver yesterday, and let me just tell you, it was alright. Like, it was better than When the Moon Hatched, I would say. I think it's better than When the Moon Hatched because there just wasn't like, When the Moon Hatched, it felt, I don't know, it felt icky to me. It was this scene of like this population of people. The main characters just didn't really agree with like their like their practices and stuff like that they did. And so it was just like, it felt really icky to just be like diminishing that population's like practices, but like whatever. That was the icky part for When the Moon Hatched for me, and so I think I gave it like 1.5 stars. Quicksilver by Kelly Hart, I'm giving it 3 stars. I don't think it was like very revolutionary in like what it was doing. Basically a thief badass girl gets taken to a fae world. It's been done before, and it has like, it's like enemies to lovers, like a really old fae like lord, I would say. He's like the lord or like the ruler. It's never not been done before. I wasn't expecting it to be the best piece of literature I've ever read, but I was expecting to like the characters a little bit more because I just like was so indifferent to our main female character. I was just like, maybe it's because I read this over the course of a week. This took me a week to read, and I'm not proud of it. We have our main character, Sarah. She's like part of the poor population, and so they called that the third. I honestly felt like nothing really happened. 670 pages. Why did nothing happen? The war between the fae and like their opponents, they're like vampire type of creatures. It gets more into that, but like it was just like whatever. And so I was just like, it's fine. Like the fight scenes, there weren't fight scenes. There was no like battle scenes that I was like, oh my god, this is so high stakes. In the thing, it said the characters knew how to like spar and they knew how to do that. So I was just like, I don't know. I feel like I like watching that, and so I feel like that translates to me wanting to read about that. I don't know. I was a superhero girl through and through. I love a fight scene. Romance, whatever. Y'all are freaky. Y'all are freaky. And by y'all, I mean the people on Kindle Unlimited. Why was this one like line, paragraph type of thing underlined by 5,000 people? Almost 6,000 people? Girl, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? But yeah, so I think I'm gonna read Wolfsong next by TJ Klune. This is 515 pages. I don't know too much about it. I think it's 2 brothers and being wolves. Being wolves. So I think I'm gonna read that. But Quicksilver, it was fine. It wasn't the best thing I've ever read. I'm glad I read it. The next one, it says it's supposed to come out like this month. It's the end of the month, so I don't know. I haven't heard anything about the new one, but maybe they like pushed it back because of the hype. I just don't know. I honestly don't know, because it's on the author's note, it says October 2024. Kind of doing well on my TBR. Quicksilver was on my TBR. And if you want a TBR update, I've read 4 books off my TBR. I read Heartstopper Volume 4, An Education of Malice, and then This Is How You Lose a Time War, and then one other book that was on my TBR because of a book club, which was Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. Honestly, I kind of liked having a TBR because now I feel like it's not like a signed reading, but I feel like I have like a path that I want to go on, because sometimes I'm just like actually so stuck and I just look at my shelves and I'm like, do I want to read this? And the answer is probably no. I feel like since I have a TBR and I want to get to it, I'm not gonna finish it this month because I have the Atlas Complex. Not reading that. Not reading that. I'll talk to you guys later. Hi guys. It is Sunday. You guys don't care because it's not actually taking a week. It's taking a week. I've been reading Wolfsong by TJ Klune. I've read Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune and The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I've rated both of those over 4 stars. I think I gave both of them 4.5 something. So I really enjoyed those two. I don't know the timeline of TJ Klune's writing, but I think Wolfsong, since there are 3 in the series, and I think maybe another one, like a 4th one, I'm assuming that this is earlier in his works and stuff like that. And so I feel like all of his works are some iteration of MM romances, and I love them. They're so good. I like the romance in here, but I don't care about what we're doing. And I feel like we've done so much. This book's 515 pages. I am 342 pages in, so 66%. Up until like the 45% mark, I feel like we did so much, and then I don't know, like I'm just not really vibing with it. I like the characters. I like the romantic aspect. I'm not like the biggest fan on like what it is. It is like basically, I don't know, I've never read like a shifter werewolf type of thing. I know about the Omegaverse, but it's not like typical like that. In this universe, Omegas, they're just like crazy. They're like rabid and like they don't care about anything. And so in this universe, the supernatural have like things called human tethers, and so those human tethers make you like human. Basically, we follow our main character Ox, and he lives in Green Creek, and so it's like a pretty small town in like Oregon or something like that. He's grown up with just his mom basically, and then he's kind of taken in by this guy who owns the mechanic shop. And so his dad used to work for the mechanic before he often left. Ever since his dad left, he was like, Ox is like 12, and he's like, I need to like kind of work to get money. He's been like kind of relying on his mom and then the mechanic owner. And then one day when Ox is 16, a family moves in right next door. That family is a family of werewolves, and so that's all you really have to know. And then they have like 3 kids that are like around their same age as Ox and stuff like that. So it's just like them growing up right now. Ox is like 26, something like that. So like it spans like a couple years, and it just like shows Ox's dynamic with everybody and like his dynamic within like the supernatural world that he learns about later on. Like I said, I like the characters. I just do not care about like what happens to the wolf like dynamics with everybody else. It is urgent, but I feel like we're not acting like it's urgent. It's not classified as cozy. I just feel like there are no stakes, and that's kind of how I felt with Quicksilver. I don't know what would give me like the heart-pounding adrenaline. Even Hero of Ages didn't give me heart-pounding adrenaline. Like I just don't know. Nothing's hitting me emotionally. So this is kind of where it leads to like me trying to find a 5-star. I don't think it's higher than a 3.5 right now. I like the characters. I think the romance is cute. It's just like I just don't care about the wolf shifter werewolf type of thing. I want to know where everything leads, but I will not read the other 3 books. I promise you that. I just will not do it. I'm gonna try to finish it tonight. I think I have like, so it ends at 500, so we're at 360. 140 more pages, and then I start Beautiful World, Where Are You? I'm actually really excited to read that. I kind of just think I want to read like some mundane, like messed up people's lives, and that's all I got. I talk to you, bye. Bye! I finished Wolfsong. Basically the same thing of what I said earlier about Wolfsong. I didn't really care about like the conflict. I feel like it kind of wrapped up, not anticlimactically, but like it just wrapped up. Like, you know what I mean? They dragged out so much of it for just one thing to happen, and I was just like, that's it. I like the characters. I like Ox, I like Joe, I like all their families and stuff like that. So like it was just a fine book. Nothing to write home about. I don't think I will continue. Let's see how many other books are in that series. So it's a pretty old series, I'm not gonna lie. I think it merged too much of like human versus like the Omegaverse, and I feel like it was just like if we went one way or the other, I would have felt more comfortable, but it was just like one scene in specific towards the like very end. I don't know why it just made me uncomfortable, and so because of that made me uncomfortable. Not like anything like badly. It wasn't like a bad uncomfortable, but I was just like, oh, this is like low-key kind of cringe. If you read the book, you know. I'm being really cryptic, but that happened. I know what will happen in the future books, and that cringed me out a lot because it wasn't a main focus on the first like 98% of the book, and then that happened. It wasn't like anything like that, but there are 2 like major spice scenes in this book, so do with that what you will. This is for adult audiences. Yeah, that's all you have to know about Wolfsong. I'm gonna try to start with Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. I don't really know too much about it. Actually, I do want to read the synopsis so I can like understand like what's the dynamic between everybody. Alice is a novelist. She meets Felix, who works in a warehouse. They're in Dublin. Her best friend Eileen is getting over a breakup and slips back into flirting with Simon, a man she's known since childhood. Alex, Felix, Eileen, and Simon are still young, but life is catching up with them. They desire each other, they delude each other, they worry about sex and the times they live in. Will they find a way to believe in this beautiful world? Okay, ooh, not the highest rated. The first 3 reviews are 1 star, 2 star, 2 star. Whatever. It literally looks like a tornado went through my room. I have no justification because I hate this tripod. Okay, I was just trying to get dressed and I ended up picking the most boring outfit. Jeans and a black t-shirt. Made my coffee. The Trader Joe's cinnamon bun creamer. I think it's better than the brown sugar. It's my favorite creamer right now. Like that like single-handedly turned me back to coffee. I was in my matcha phase. I think I'm almost done with my matcha tin, so I think that's why like I've kind of like cut back. I am like 50% done with Beautiful World, Where Are You? I'm liking it. Yeah, chapter 17, 174. Basically we follow 2 main characters, Alice and Eileen. So they both became friends in college. They've kind of like separated, but they still like talk once in a while. Alice is an author, and then Eileen is like, she works at a bookstore, I think. Eileen's kind of like her like romance like side thing is with this guy named Simon, who she's known since she was like a child. That's like their thing, and I love reading about Simon and Eileen. Like I don't know, I can see it. I hope they end up together like at the end, and if they don't, might cry because I just think they're so cute. I feel like from like a me perspective, when you're not in Eileen's head, they just seem like friends, but they don't seem like really close. In Eileen's like point of view, you can see like those little nuances with their relationship that is like they know each other so well and they know what each of them needs. Love it. I'm warming up to Alice. I liked her, and then I kind of like was like okay, and then now I kind of like her again. I don't know, I just think like they are both pretentious in their own way and like their views and stuff like that, and so it is like sometimes a little like ooh, like what. I don't know how I feel about Felix yet. I don't know, I just don't really feel much towards him. I don't like him, but I don't dislike him at the same time. I like Simon. I just think like one part about Simon's identity and then both like the main characters like kind of like take, I was about to be so British there, take the piss out of him. What's the American equivalent to like taking the piss out of somebody? Like make fun of him. Okay, they like make fun of him, not like in a malicious way, but like they kind of like joke around with him about one part of his identity. I think it's so funny. I think it's actually funny. The writing, it comes off a little rambly sometimes, not gonna lie. I didn't really notice it in Normal People. This one, it's like really descriptive rambly, like, oh, there's like the kettle's on, like the lights are on, I flipped the switch, I turned off the faucet. It's like that type of rambly, and I don't know how I feel about it because Alice and Eileen aren't like together physically. They sent emails, and so I don't know why they don't just text, but they sent emails, and I think the emails are really fun. The emails really like get inside their heads, and so they're like so candid with each other, but also like when you're reading like just the story, not the emails, they do like kind of like hide some things from each other, and that's just like, I guess, friends. Like they're so candid with each other, which is so like, I love it. I think it's so good. And I also like interwoven in the emails, it's like a history lesson, so I'm like, oh yeah, okay Sally Rooney, teach me something. I'm not as connected to the characters as much as I was in Normal People. I do really relate to Eileen. I love Eileen. I think she's my favorite character so far. I'm saying that, I hope she's not like batshit crazy at the end of this. Still love Eileen. Okay, that's all of my updates. I've actually set it on ratings for the other 2 books that I've read. I've updated them on Goodreads, so they're set in stone. I can't change them now. That I'm gonna talk to you about the ratings at the end of the video and like rehash all of my like main points that I made throughout this rambly video that's taken me so long. I'm liking Beautiful World, Where Are You? And I think this is her least rated book, so I want to see. I love Normal People, and I have conversations with friends. I haven't been like super excited to keep reading, like want to know where a story is happening. It's not giving 5 stars, but it's giving better than mediocre, better than a 3 stars, which is what I need right now. So that's happening. I'm enjoying it, and I'll see you guys later. I never really filmed from this angle. It's October 31st. I finally finished this video. I don't know when I started this. This is supposed to be a week of reading Kindle Unlimited books, but it took longer than a week because Quicksilver took me a whole week by itself. I finished Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney yesterday. This morning / last night type of beat. Like 1 a.m. I really enjoyed it. Some people didn't like it, and I can totally understand why, because it really is it's just women complaining and then also finding the beauty of the world. But like, I think it's just so good. I love women complaining. I love it when people complain. I love it. It does come from a certain place of privilege because both of these women are white women in Europe. I don't know, it's just life. Like they know that other stuff is happening and they know that other people have it harder, and they still have the right to complain about certain things, and it's just like, it really is just like, I don't know, it's just really like people complaining and just like talking about it, and like friendship and like love and everything like that. I loved it. So while I really liked it, I can understand and see why people don't like it. I think some parts of the book I didn't really enjoy too much. I feel like it took me like around like 40% to really like get absorbed into the world, and once I did get absorbed into the world, like at 63%, like I was so involved with the characters that I was like screaming for them, and it was like the way that they were acting, it gave off like what I kind of like an inkling of what I felt in Magnolia Parks, where you're like, oh my god, like I can't believe this level of miscommunication is still going on, and it's just like, tell your feelings. I kind of love a little bit of miscommunication. Like I don't know, it just adds so much angst. And okay, miscommunication and angst are like toe and toe for me. Like I think they're both like, I love angst, so therefore I love miscommunication. I don't like the type of angst that it's like angry, like, because miscommunication, you can be sad but you're not like too angry, because then you can see where both of them are coming off of from. That type of like level of miscommunication, it felt reminiscent of Normal People. I think Normal People came out before Beautiful World, Where Are You? Let me actually fact check that, because I feel really bad if I don't know. Okay, yeah, so it was Conversations with Friends, Normal People second, and then Beautiful World, Where Are You latest, and then intermezzo. But yeah, the miscommunication, it wasn't like that I loved it, I just loved the way it made me feel so connected to the characters because I was like so involved with like, ooh, what's gonna happen. I like all the characters. I really grew to like Alice and her like other like portions of the book. I grew to tolerate Felix. The Simon love kind of went a little down, but like honestly it's like him as a character was just like I saw myself in him, but then I also like I saw the parts of myself that I don't like, and so that's why I feel a little like iffy with Simon. But I loved Alice. I loved Eileen. I love Eileen. Love that girl. She's my girl. With that, I think I'm giving it a 4.25 stars. I think it's just because like the writing sometimes didn't really click with me. It felt like a little too descriptive. Like I told you, like, oh, I'm just like turning on this light switch right now, or I turned it off, I like shut the door, I swiveled on my left heel or something like that. It's like that type of writing. I hope that you know that Sally Rooney doesn't use quotation marks for her dialogue, and so sometimes it is a little like jarring to like read about it because I'm just like reading it and then I'm just like, oh yeah, frick, like they were talking, like they were speaking, this is like dialogue, this is important, and so I have to reread that part of it again. But I just love her books. Really excited to get to Conversations with Friends. I don't know, I feel like this is the opposite because people probably have read this from first before Beautiful World Where Are You. Both this one and Beautiful World Where Are You are about like a friendship between two women, and so I don't know if like the same dynamic is gonna give off of what Alice and Eileen gave with Francis and Bobby. Is it too close to this one? And I won't rate this one as highly because I rated Beautiful World Where Are You at 4.25 stars. So it really is just that. And I know that Intermezzo is about two brothers. Beautiful World Where Are You, I had to buy a physical copy of it because I loved it so much. Let me read you some of the quotes that I really liked. If you're an angst love story girl, you'll get it. These are out of context. I'm not gonna tell you who said what or anything like that. I do feel like a failure in every way of my life is really nothing and very few people care what happens in it. And now I just feel like the kind of person whose life partner would fall out of love with them after several years, and I can't find a way to not be that kind of person anymore. That's what kills me. I spent half of my 20s with this person and in the end he just got sick of me. I mean, that's what happened. I bored him. I didn't tell you because you were busy and because I suppose it seemed like something small compared to everything that was going on with your life. Because I have no intellectual depth or original ideas, what would I be doing it for anyways? Just to say I had done it? Girl, I feel like mine are so depressing. In a funny way, maybe it's not important to get along and more important just to love each other anyways. Okay. I'm not an easy person to be with, I know that, but if you think there's any chance that I would make you happy, I wish you would let me try because it's the only thing I really want to do with my life. I want to eat my fist. I know I'm lucky in so many ways, and when I forget that, I just remind myself the fact that Felix is alive, you are, Simon is, and I feel wonderfully and almost frighteningly lucky. I want to cry. Oh, contrary to popular belief, I did not cry in this book. Yeah, I cried everything. So, Beautiful World Where Are You, 4.25 stars. I'm so happy that I finally have a book that I've rated higher than 4 stars. That's Beautiful World Where Are You. The other books I read in this video were Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I'm giving that a 3 stars. It was just so meh and mid. The world building was fine, it was whatever. I didn't really care about the characters, but like they were fine. Like I didn't hate any of them. I think the romance was whatever, it just gave romantasy. If that's what you need, if that's what you want, if that's what you're going for, then it did it well. You know what I mean? I don't know, I just never really felt connected. I feel like it is better than When the Moon Hatched, and the only reason I'm comparing them is because they both blew up at the same like relative time, and I really hated When the Moon Hatched. Quicksilver, it was just whatever. We basically follow Saris. She's from the 3rd, which is like pretty low class in like the grand scheme of like their country and stuff like that. Their population is basically dwindling because the kingdom is rationing their food and water, and so they have to go to extreme levels to like survive and stuff like that. She gets captured by the queen, and then she gets captured by the Fae. She doesn't know the Fae exist. The Fae are magical in this like society and no one really knows about them. And then she gets captured by the Fae because she's an alchemist. The magic of alchemy is like really like rare. And so Kingfisher, he's like in charge of the army, gets involved with Saris, blah 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 blah. He needs her to make weapons for his army because they're going to war against this vampire population type of thing. So that's all you have to know. I gave that 3 stars. Never really gonna think about it. I don't think I will continue. I don't know what could make me continue, especially if the book is as long as the first book. The first book was 600 pages, but it was really long for not much to me. So I just don't like think that I'm gonna waste my time reading the second one. It was supposed to come out this month in October. Haven't seen anything about it, so I don't know. Then I read Wolfsong by Klune. I'm giving this 3.25 stars because I did like the characters. Since I liked the characters, it gave it an extra boost of just like mediocre to me. I think the writing was fine. I don't think it's as refined as his other works, and because this one was like made in 2016 and like the other works are more like 2020 and above, and so I feel like I really could tell the difference in his writing. Okay, the world building for Wolfsong, it felt felt really like Twilight. It felt really Twilight. And so that's really all you have to know. Like, there are supernatural creatures in this world, but they don't like really elaborate it on more. There's just like, oh yeah, we're werewolves. Oh yeah, they're a witch. Like, you know what I mean? But there was no backstory either to it. Like, we never really learned a backstory. Like in like Vampire Diaries, you learn a backstory. There was one cringe thing that happened at the really very end, and I was just like, okay, if this is how the rest of the books are gonna be, I'm not reading them. And I think that's the case because of what happened to this one specific character and the scene that we got with that perspective. I liked Ox, I liked Joe, I liked the Bennetts. Like, I love the found family in this one, especially because in the beginning you're just so like thrown in that Ox does not have like the best support system. And so when he really grows up into this man and who he becomes at the end of the book, it really is just so nice that he has like so many people around him now. 3.25 stars. It's not a bad book and by any means. I just didn't really care. So, and those are the books that I read on Kindle Unlimited. I just chose the ones that I was kind of itching to read. Quicksilver was on my TBR. I love previous TJ Klune books, and I love Sally Rooney's books now that I know definitively, because this is my second Sally Rooney. I didn't know Sally Rooney was just gonna be a one and done author for me, but I'm really glad that she wasn't, and I'm really glad I read Beautiful World, Where Are You, even though I've heard some like not the best reviews, but I enjoyed it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It is kind of all over the place. I love you. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!